Hello and welcome to another episode of Project 2J Z28. Today's a big one. Time to get the Camaro out. Which also means the wheels are done. So we get to put those on the car and see what they look like for the first time, which is exciting. Oh yeah. There's few things like the feeling of getting your sports car out. Well, for those of us that know what it's like to put it away for winter. Those of you that may live in warmer areas where you can just drive them 12 months a year, well, I don't have that privilege here. I don't know what that's like, but there is something special about being deprived of something you love, just to be reunited with it again. So the wheels, he had a hard time with them. There was an issue with the powder coating. The design of the wheels, the way the spoke is so close to the wheel, there were some static discharge where it just would flake, and he could not do two different colors. So we ended up with one solid color, silver, which hopefully will match the car. So let's get these on and see what it looks like. Well, it may be clean, maybe in the garage and not someplace beautiful, but here they are. I like it. Matches the car good. And you know, look, wheels are one of those things, right? I already have spent a fortune and changed things up more than once because we're just picky. If the wheels aren't perfect, the wheels make a car, right? So I liked sometimes when the other ones, had light on them and they didn't look chrome. They just looked like a really good silver, but other times they just looked like a black chrome and it was too shiny and I didn't care for it. So we're going with silver. I would have liked the chrome lip to set them off and not just made them plain silver, but I think I've gotten them about as good as I'm going to get them. And honestly, I don't mind the look. It looks pretty darn good with the angles. So done with Miracle 1 for the day, on to Miracle 2. Will it start? Last time we put it away, it was running as perfect as we could. Blake did his number on it, did countless starts in his garage. It ran flawlessly on the way home. And here she sat until today. So here's the moment of truth. All right, here goes nothing. Pressure's good, voltage good. Yes. Good thing. Okay, so got the wheels on, verified she started, not any trouble really. This boost gauge, that's kind of the next fix. I've got the auto meter replacement for the sender unit to it, so got to get under the car and change that out next. Okay, Camaro up in the air. Gosh, having a lift is so nice. It's always good to have a lift. It's always good to get underneath your car every once in a while and look, I'm dripping a little bit of oil out of differential fluid out of my diff. But it's just a little bit and there was not a puddle under my car. So not too worried about that. I definitely could scrub things up and clean some stuff in. I see a loose exhaust strap, which we shall take care of with a metal zip tie. And right under here, I don't know if you can see that right there, is the sensor we need to replace with the boost gauge. So a little bit of work to do, but it's important to get this stuff done. I want it done. This is less than ideal. I don't really like this just flapping in the wind. I'm going to secure that somehow too, be it zip ties or something else, but want to give her a very good once over before we go for our first drive of the year. It started great, idled great. I have no doubt in my mind at this point in time that it's still running good, but here's the deal. I've only got literally a few weeks until it's race time. That same half-mile race that we've been trying to enter for years, it's coming up. So I need to get this thing dialed in. I need to get this thing, if it's not dialed in quickly. We need to get some miles on it, and we need to verify things are good. So Let's tie up the loose ends and put some miles on her. Okay, again, did I mention it's good to get under your car every once in a while? Sometimes you just find stuff like, well, I'll go over what we did first. I've got the Air-Dam Secure with some fancy Ben-made zip ties here. So I'm feeling better about that. Sometimes the simple things do really work. The zip ties will hold this in place instead of just leaving her flapping in the wind to do really nothing. We've got, get the light on it up here, the new boost sensor engaged for, or installed rather, for the boost gauge. So that's taken care of. And then I've got my exhaust wrapped up here with a couple of metal zip ties, so it's not loose and flapping in the wind. And while we were under here, I found something else. I've got a random hole in my exhaust. Now I think this is the problem with modifying a car. You modify it so many times, you kind of tend to forget things of the past, of what you did and what you had, and you change things up. I think that used to be an EGT probe that was in there for an old setup I used to have way back in the day. And I'm pretty sure I had a bolt or a bung, something in there, but clearly it's came out, and I've checked it. It's a hole. It literally is a hole in my exhaust. So I'm gonna weld that up and get that sealed up so we don't have any exhaust leaks. I'll probably spray a little bit of spray paint. All my exhaust is stainless with the exception of this 4-inch oval, mostly just honestly due to cost. That oval piece was super expensive for steel. For stainless, it was just ridiculous. And I don't really drive the car ever in like snow or salt. I think it's neat. Years and years and years I've owned this car. I think I've been in snow maybe twice ever. And rain, I mean, it happens, but it's pretty rare. So I'm not really too worried about big corrosion on the car, but all that being the same, you know, I've got some surface rust that just happens with moisture and being inherent in, you know, a humid environment every once in a while. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray that real quick and we'll get her buttoned up and yeah. Okay, we have hole welded and sprayed. Got all the random light rust spots sanded down and sprayed underneath the car. And look, this is a thing of age, right? You're not gonna find this on the Corvette that I have. You're not gonna find this on new cars, but this is part of taking your car long term, is making sure she doesn't rust away from the cancerous rust. But I think I've got everything sprayed, cleaned up, tied up, zip tied, metal zip ties, regular zip ties, new sensor replaced. I think everything is finally good to go. We're ready to drop it down and we can see what she does on the road. Okay, so far, so good. I got about 20 miles on it so far. Everything seems to be working fine. Got good temperature in the engine, not getting too hot, although that's never been an issue. Oil pressure seems to be great. I've got about 3/4 of a tank of old 93 octane in it that I'm trying to be gentle with and be patient with to get out before I really give it the beans. But I did get into boost just a little bit and verified the boost gauge is working, so that sensor was bad. So far so good. She's running smooth, no hiccups, no funky blips, started right up. I'll get into boost just a little bit. Just roll into just 2% gently. There's about 5 pounds of boost, nice and easy. Yeah, it's running good. I got really no complaints. So we'll keep putting some miles on it and see what we see.